Welcome. This is live. This is TV47. This is Sports Extravaganza. My name is Tony Kwalanda. We're live. And of course, we are in celebratory mood because today, this big Saturday, and of course, tomorrow as well, as Cape Media, and of course, the entire nation is glued at Upper Hill High School, where the fourth round of the Europe Day Kenya football tournament is currently taking place. And the action there, I was there this morning. We enjoyed. The event was officially, of course, unveiled and launched by His Excellency Deputy Governor. Also, the Minister of Sports was there. The boys and girls under 18 were there. We were there, of course, to usher in and see which two teams from Nairobi will be going to the finals of the Europe Day Kenya football tournament at Ulinzi Sports Complex next Friday. That's, of course, where we'll be to celebrate and choose which team will be the overall, or which teams will be the overall winners of the Europe Day Kenya football. Welcome. It's a pleasure, of course, to have you on this great show. And on this show, I am not alone. I am joined by of course, Her Excellency, the European Union Ambassador to Kenya, Henriette Geiger. Ambassador, welcome. It's good to see you again.
Right.
From the Upper Hill to here.
Yes.
Well done. Yes. I love your energy. Santa Sana.
Here we are. Here we are again.
Thank you very much.
Thanks to welcome us in your living room again.
Please, you're always welcome with open arms. Of course, also we have Her Excellency Caroline Vicini, who is the Swedish ambassador to Kenya. Welcome. It's good to have you here. I know you're here to share some beautiful stories. And of course, I will not miss you to ask you later about Zlatan Ibrahimovic, one of our idol footballers. I'm happy you're here. Of course, amongst other many stories, of course, that you have from the beautiful land of Sweden.
Thank you very much. It's a great pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much. Welcome. Also on this show, we have Honorable Oscar Igaida, who is the Minister for Sports, Nairobi County. Mheshimiwa, it's good to see you. I'm happy to have you on TV47.
Thank you very much. And the title is County Chief Officer.
County Chief Officer. Correction, County Chief Officer.
Youth, Talent and Sports.
Youth, Talent and Sports. Yeah. Perfect. Thank you for that correction, Mheshimiwa Igaida. It's good to have you. I saw you on the pitch earlier today.
Thank you so much.
Of course, welcoming the boys and girls at Upper Hill High School for the fourth round of the Europe Day Kenya football tournament. Just before we get into the nitty-gritty of the discussion this day, I have a question of the day. And the European Union delegation to Kenya, who of course are behind the Europe Day Kenya football tournament, have airtime, a lot of airtime. As in, it is a lot of airtime for you because they want you to participate on this show. They want you to come to Ulinzi Sports Complex on the 17th of May. It's a beautiful Friday. I have a lot of airtime. It's plenty. Mingi sana, tele sana. How do you say it in Germany? Many, a lot.
Feel.
That one.
Feel.
But I want you to answer a very simple question. We are asking you, which county is hosting this weekend's Europe Day Kenya football tournament? Which county is hosting this weekend's Europe Day Kenya football tournament? Of course, that is a very easy question, and we like you to see to answer a very simple question on our WhatsApp platform. The number, of course, will be scrolling on your screen. You can go to our Facebook page. Please share your messages there as well. You can go on WhatsApp video, share a short clip, 20-second video clip of you answering that particular question, starting with the name Sports Extravaganza, your name, where you're watching this particular show from, and an answer, and give me a reason why you need airtime. We have a lot of airtime. Where this came from, there is more. So start answering, go on our social media, go on EU X social media platforms. They are there, of course, for you to participate on this. To get into it, of course, quickly, let's bring in Her Excellency European Union Ambassador to Kenya, Henriette Geiger. The Deputy Governor was there this morning, together, of course, with Youth and Sports County Chief Sports, to usher in the boys and girls under 18. How was the mood? I saw you interacting with them, jovial. They're excited.
Yeah, it was such an upbeat mood. The youth, they have been there since early morning, everybody in different colors, boys and girls, everybody convinced they will win. And that's the spirit. And we talked about, of course, only 2 teams can go to the finals, but everybody's a winner if they play in a sportive team in team spirit and with fairness. So it was so great to see them. It was still a bit muddy on the field, so we were very happy we found a sports field that was not flooded. And I'm looking forward to see who's winning, who's coming with us on Friday.
Indeed, true, of course. And Mheshimiwa, you're also there together with the Deputy Governor, His Excellency Mushiri. This particular tournament, how is it important, of course, to the objectives that you already have as a county government in Nairobi?
It's extremely important because in the Governor's manifesto, we talk about talent identification, talent nurturing, and development of talent. The European Union has come in at the right time. And the age bracket which this tournament is hosting is the right age bracket to identify talent and nurture the same. So we really, really want to thank the European Union for coming in. And as you know, this time before the students go back to school, they engage in narcotics, drug abuse, and all that. So the tournament will help remove our youth from these bad habits in the community. So we really appreciate that they came at the right time, and at least we will be able to identify talent.
Indeed, that's true.
Thereafter, we shall nurture it and
Very
develop
true.
the same.
Talking about nurturing, Your Excellency Caroline, Sweden is big in sports, of course, from the names that we heard from Sweden, participating, of course, in those huge, big tournaments around globally. And, of course, now we have this kind of tournament, the age group tournament. How does Sweden, of course, engage in this kind of age structured and under 15s, under 18s, under 16? How do they do it? And how does it compare, of course, now to this Europe Day Kenya football tournament?
Well, we are actually quite known for having sports as something that most kids can participate in. And I think soccer is typically one of those that is played in every corner and, in the street and in the neighborhood field, etc. So soccer, I think most kids in Sweden have once or one time or another participated in some soccer team, in some tournament, in some activity of this sort. And it is very good, as we heard here, from bringing kids to do things that are good instead of bad. We have a team that is started very close to where I grew up, or really close, that is actually Europe's largest team. They have, they field more than 260 teams. They have 4,000 active players.
Wow.
And in all age groups, from the smallest kids all the way up, and they have, they play in the first league in Sweden. I also wanted to tell you about something where I think we have seen several Kenyan teams also participating, and that's GOtv Cup. That takes place in July in Gothenburg in Sweden every summer. It's the world's largest youth tournament. And
football?
For soccer, yes.
Soccer, yeah.
And in 2023, there was 1,878 teams.
Wow.
Coming from 69 nations, and they played 4,771 games.
Wow. That is a lot.
And that has been going on since 75. They started in 1975. Some local teams started this up, and it has grown. And we have had several Kenyan teams who have been there to play during the years.
Wow.
So it's big in Sweden.
Wow, no wonder soccer is one of your popular sports.
Yeah.
Well done on that. For this, the things we learn through that, of course, the cultural exchange and sports exchange. Your Excellency Geiger, fans are raring to come to Ulinzi Sports Complex on the 17th of May. That's, of course, next Friday. And I understand the European Union delegation to Kenya had some lovely gifts, rewards, prizes. Just besides them coming to enjoy and observe and see the talent at Ulinzi.
Yeah. So I brought some to the studio,
Yes.
but some you will only discover at Ulinzi. So we have items like this, for example, that's a shirt of the Belgian national team, the Belgian female national team, and it's signed by all the female national players.
Wow.
So this is a unique piece. So we will raffle that off with all those who register under your number.
Yes.
Then we have shirts from national teams. This is from the Czech Republic. So we have many things like that, scarves from the national teams, cups from the national teams. But we also have overnight prizes in hotels. So several of our sponsors are hotels, some here in the capital city, Nairobi, some in Mombasa. So we have several vouchers for stays overnight for 2 nights, 1 night, full board, in also fun parks in Mombasa. So we are very happy that there will be plenty of surprises. This is, for example, from La Liga, the Italian national teams. So you will get a lot of original prizes. And of course, Safaricom will give us again a shower of airtime. So all you have to do is call under the number that you have given Tony, and there will be a raffle. But you have to come physically to the studio. Physically to the studio.
To the stadium, right? To the stadium.
Sorry.
To the stadium.
Stadium, not studio.
Yes, stadium.
Otherwise, you will be flooded here.
There will be many that will be coming in the stadium. So, of course, as Her Excellency has explained, the numbers, our WhatsApp number, that's where you need to send the name Europe Day. I know there was a message, of course, on Twitter, on X rather, that you shared about how they can engage with you, and also on TV47 and Cape Media. Go to our social media platforms, go to our WhatsApp number, send the name Europe Day. And of course, you stand a chance of getting these lovely prizes. And the catch is this, the condition is you will have to come to Ulinzi Sports Complex on the 17th of May. That is next Friday for you to qualify. You can send it, we select you, then you're not there. Then of course we'll go to the next person who was available at that particular. So you don't want to miss that. And that's just beside it. We just want you to come and see the talent that Kenya has to offer, from Marsabit, from Homa Bay to Kilifi the other weekend, and now this time to Nairobi. So it's going to be such a scintillating action full of boys and girls talents expressing themselves on the pitch. Let me bring in Mheshimiwa. These boys and girls, I know you already have structures as the county government, just so you explained, under the Governor Johnson Sakaja about sports. What next? Of course, I know you've already done some of your projects with the young under 18s and under 15s, under 19s, like this tournament. What next for them? Of course, I know you've had deliberations with the European Union, but I'm sure you've worked out a map of times of how you're going to maintain these talents, especially these ones you're going to get from the Europe Day Football Kenya tournament.
Well, as a county, what we'll do is that we will identify a few girls and a few boys that we will thereafter put together as a Nairobi County team, because we have Talanta Hela that's coming up. We have several tournaments that are coming up. We don't want just them to play. We don't want them to play this weekend and thereafter they are forgotten, and they just go back to their community and engage in other things. We will identify the best girls and the best boys. We already have Nairobi teams, so they will join our girls of Nairobi team, and we will sieve them together with our girls and make sure we come up with the best Nairobi team. Already, even day one, I've received several calls even after I left there that we've identified several good girls from some teams there and young boys. So we have a plan of incorporating them into the Team Nairobi, because the next few months we have Talanta Hela. It's a program of the national government where a county has to bring its own team. So we will incorporate them into the county teams. That's the best players only from the girls and the boys teams. So we have 2-3 scouts there who are identifying them, and then we shall pick them up.
So definitely your boy, your girl will definitely have a chance to feature somewhere in our local structures around the country. And Your Excellency, Vicini, the story you shared about one of your top sports stars who's been in Kenya, who has played in Kenya, share with us that story and give us the specifics about that, because there's a lot, of course, we need to learn from Sweden.
Yeah, This was, he came here as a boy. Johan Guidetti is his name. He came here as a boy together with his parents because his father was a teacher at we have a Swedish school in Nairobi. His father was a teacher there. So he came, I think he was around 10. He had already started to play in Sweden. And here in Kenya, he started to play in Mathare. So he played there for the 5 years he stayed in Kenya. And I've seen a wonderful photo that he put out with all the kids in Mathare. He played with the young boys there of his age. They are standing in front of a soccer goal. They have all taken off their T-shirts. Yes. And you see in this sea of black, you see one white little kid with white blonde hair like this in the middle. Yeah. And so he played in Mathare. He played in, let me see what the teams were called, Impala, Bromma Boys, and then in Ligi, Ndogo, in Mathare. So he played all the time he was here, and with the kids there. And then he went back. He continued to play for a few years, and he was recruited very early then into Manchester. Then he played for the Celtics. He had played in several teams in Europe. And he came back here in 2022 and found many of his old soccer football pals. And they made another photo at the same place. Now grown men, you know, in their 30s.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I've seen that photo. I didn't know exactly. I was going to see what it is. Now, thank you really for putting you know, the nitty-gritty about it, that particular photo. Well done. I hope...
And Kenya has remained in his heart, obviously. These years were very formative for him, and he seems to regularly return here.
Well done. Thank you, really. Please welcome them back here every time. We like them over here. Ambassador Geiger, Germany, of course, sponsored the Kilifi edition last weekend. Ambassador Sebastian Groth was super excited, of course, together with the governor there. And opportunities that, of course, we've heard from Ambassador Vicini about the opportunities that our girls and boys will get when they get exposure when they go to Europe.
Yeah, so the winning team, both girls' team and boys' team, will go to Romania, to the national training camp there. Yes. All expenses paid, and there will be also a nice tourist program attached to it. So that will be a fantastic opportunity. Yes. But we thought everybody's a winner. So we also have something for the second, third, and fourth team. Yes. So for the second team, we have a training camp with AFC Leopards. So they will get special training. The coach is a Czech national. For the third winning team, we have a training session or training camp with Gor Mahia. And they have a Northern Irish coach. And then the fourth team will get other prizes. But we made sure that nobody is leaving empty-handed. So one of our sponsors, for example, Cake City, they will put together nice cookie bags also to stuff it in the bags for the players. Yes. So everybody has a sweet experience, whether they win or not. But the winners to go to Romania will be a big thing. And we'll make sure that the stories, that their adventures will travel back here and will be shared on social media, maybe with you, so we can all be part of their adventure. We'll be in the mountains, I heard, and it will be cold, so they have to stay warm playing.
Indeed. It's true. And of course, Honorable Mheshimiwa, this opportunity that we're giving to our boys and girls to travel. Some of us have not even gone to Europe. Of course, I can speak on behalf of many of us, including myself, but the boys and girls are getting opportunities really to fly to Romania, for example. In future, I'm sure the EU might extend it to Sweden. So the Swedish government might think, let's have the boys and girls.
Work on the ambassador.
Yes. Yes. How beneficial is this for those boys from, Korogosho, those boys from those things, it's definitely raising something and, in their minds, jogging, kickstarting something about, yes, in future I can actually be where Wanyama has been, one of our top players, where, McDonald had been. Yeah.
This is what Governor Sakaja always talks about, hope, a city of hope. And the European Union has just come in at the right time. As I said earlier on, we have appealed to them that they make it an annual event, so that for those who did not participate in this particular year, they can look forward to participate in the next year. Maybe this year it will be Romania, next year it might be Sweden, another year it will be German, and it will give hope to the kids especially in the slums. Looking at people like Dennis Oliech, our players who have played, professional players have come from informal settlements. So it will give them hope, something to look forward to. And there's something called monetizing talent, which is very, very rare here in Kenya. And since Governor Sakaja took over office, in his own Sakaja Cup, he put the price quite high so that the players could get some good money. This is another initiative that will help players get exposed to European life, and they will learn a lot while in Europe. And I think when they come back, they can impact the society and look forward maybe to even get encouraged to become professionals. So we really, really thank the European Union for coming in and encouraging our youngsters.
Indeed. And of course, later on, Ambassador Geiger, I'll ask you about the annual bit. Pray on that. But of course, let me bring in Ambassador Vicini. How do you, recognize or encourage or motivate, your local talent? Because I know you have a way where you encourage, like for example, if someone is good in sports or football or floor hockey or ice hockey, there's some incentive or way that you keep them going on. Maybe in African context, maybe you don't do that much, but maybe in Sweden, with some of the lessons we can learn from them.
No, I recognize the idea you have here about nurturing talent, for example, to create these local teams. We have had that in Sweden for many, many years, that, each county put together a team of the best players in the county, and then there are these national tournaments, which of course makes it easier to identify the best ones and to pick them for teams at the national level. But I think the most important thing is to widen the base. Talent, you find it because people get opportunities to practice something that if they didn't get that opportunity, they would never been able to develop that talent. So I think that the most important thing is to widen the base, to see too that you can, and it doesn't, for soccer, it doesn't require too much. It requires some adults that are willing to spend their free time on this. And that is a very strong thing in Sweden. All these tournaments are run by people who are volunteers, who are parents or who have played before or who continue. For example, my sister's kids, they played for many years. Then when they stopped playing, they started to coach the small kids. And you have to give back like that or pay forward. And I think that is the important thing. Then soccer is one of the most professionalized, sports. So you have these talent scouts traveling around everywhere, and I think they are here as well. But the important thing is to give every child, boy or girl, the opportunity to test and see if they like it. And if they like it, they might have talent. Some might like it and not have talent, but others are very talented. So I think that's my advice. That's how we do it.
Okay, great. Of course, that's Ambassador Vicini, the Swedish ambassador to Kenya. Just before Ambassador Geiger answered my question about the annual event, just after our short break, a little bit later, we have the CEO of Gor Mahia Football Club. I'm an AFC fan, so I find it tricky to say Gor Mahia. But of course, Gor Mahia are very our perennial rivals. Of course, we have the CEO of Gor Mahia here. And of course, just as Ambassador had said earlier, the coach of Gor Mahia, Jonathan McKinstry, comes from Northern Ireland. Definitely now, the podium finishers, one of the teams, will benefit from a camp with Gor Mahia. Those are the undisputed champions in our local football here and also in Africa. Ambassador, Mheshimiwa mentioned something about annual. I'm sure you'll be having those negotiations, but here in the media, we also like just finding some information about where that discussion is at the moment.
The discussion is to find the money. So if we find the money, we'll do it. So this is an idea that was born last year in our delegation, and it cost a lot of effort to make this first thing. Now, if we're successful this time around, the second time will be much easier. So I hope that with the momentum we are gaining this year, we can get more sponsors, we can extend to all 47 counties, and indeed make it a national feature, because Europe Day shouldn't be just celebrated with cocktail among the diplomats, but it should benefit all Kenyans. That's the idea. But I just wanted to say about the football clubs, since Caroline was saying that, also in Germany, which is my home country, the football clubs are the glue that keeps the village or the city together. Sometimes that's the only club there is, and everybody's there. Even non-players, they are in a support function, and that's what they do every weekend for many, many years. And in my village, for example, the football club was set up in 1910 and has been going through the generations. And this is what Caroline speaks about. You have the base, that is the community glue, the cohesion, but it's also helping to develop talent as talent scouts and to let people come up the system. So we're trying our best to make this an annual event. Yes. We are hoping that sponsors will wake up to it, that our member states will continue to support us, and our headquarters has woken up and maybe they will give us a contribution. But do you allow me to give the sponsors?
Yes, in a minute and a half.
Great. Thank you.
Go on, please.
Okay, yes. So
we are the sponsor. I know
BCD, Brussels Airlines, Cake City, Cape Media, Decathlon, Echo, EDF, EIB, Elgon Kenya, Kempinski, KFC, Liquid Telecom, MoSound, NCBA, Parapet, Park Inn Hotel, Pride Inn Hotels, Resorts and Camps, Radio 47, Radisson Blue Hotel, Nairobi Upper Hill, Ruby's, Safaricom, Safari Park, Safaricom, Sankara Hotel, yes. Secorex, Swedish Embassy, Austrian Embassy, German Embassy, Czech Embassy, Romanian Embassy, Taka Solutions, Tribe and Trademark Hotels, Vama International Group, Hamel. So that's it. Sorry, it's a long list and still growing.
And we would like it to grow on and on, because we would like, of course, our boys and girls to benefit from it as well, because it's very important. If you're joining us, this is Sports Extravaganza. I have Her Excellency Henriette Geiger, the EU Ambassador to Kenya. I also have Her Excellency Caroline Vicini, the Swedish Ambassador to Kenya. And also I have the County Chief Officer, Youth Sports, Honorable Oscar Igaida in the house here. And just before we go for a break, I have earlier on we were able to speak to His Excellency Njoroge Mushiri, the Deputy Governor of Nairobi at Upper Hill, and of course what he said about this tournament.
On this European Day, when we are celebrating European Day, and we have this beautiful tournament that has been organized by the delegation of the European Union to Kenya, where we have 16 teams today. We are playing 8 teams for girls and 8 teams for the boys, and they're going to go through a series of matches upon which they're going to get the winners for the day, even those who don't become number 1 or number 2 are going to still get prizes. And it's going to culminate in a finals event on Friday next week at Ulinzi grounds, where we are going to have teams from 3 other counties, so that they become 4. That is Marsabit, Kilifi, Homa Bay, and of course Nairobi, the host Nairobi. and we will be having the finals out there. And what happens then is that whoever is going to win is going to have a camp sponsored, fully sponsored in Romania by the European Union delegation. And of course, I believe that the Nairobi team is going to win. And we want to ask all Nairobians to turn out in large numbers to come and support our people, to come and support our young men and women so that we can clinch this trophy. But over and above that, I think the idea of this football ceremony or this football tournament is a great idea, supported by the European Union, and to help build character, help build competitiveness.
That is the Deputy Governor, Nairobi County, His Excellency Njoroge Muchiri, earlier on at Upper Hill. Remember, today and tomorrow, the Nairobi preliminaries are being played at Upper Hill High School in Nairobi, and only two teams, a girls team and a boys team, will qualify for the finals of the Europe Day Kenya Football Tournament to be held on the 17th, next week, Friday. And we have airtime for you on this show. I need to go for the break and select you for winning this airtime. Plenty of airtime, courtesy of this tournament, courtesy of the European Union delegation, courtesy of the county government of Nairobi, because of course this tournament is happening in Nairobi County, and we have their blessings from His Excellency Governor Johnson Sakaja. And this is a very simple question just before we go for the break. We're asking you, where is the fourth round of the Europe Day Kenya Football Tournament being held this weekend? You have all the answers on your face, in your ears, or you have them already. You know the drill. Of course, go to WhatsApp, send a short video clip, 20 seconds. Tell us your name, this show, where you're watching this show from. Give me an answer, and you stand a chance of winning this airtime. We'll be back in a bit, of course. We'll be releasing the county chief of sports and youth, Honorable Igaida, for actually, because they are in a busy schedule. They need to go and check on the boys and girls if they're okay at Upper Hill. So, Honorable, thank you really for making time. Usiende kwanza keti tu, because it's ready to go. But of course, we shall be remaining with the excellencies. That's Ambassador Vicini and Ambassador Geiga. They will still be here together with the CEO of Gor Mahia Football Club after this very short break.